Is anyone a fan of MMA? MMA or mixed martial art is a form of cage fighting. Here fighters can get into a fight on a contract basis. It is ultimate combat. Even though learning mixed martial arts is the best for self-defense, what we are talking about is still somewhat deadly. This is not for self-defense, it is for fun. Welcome back, pals. Aren't you a subscriber yet? Then hurry up and subscribe to our channel. Tap the bell icon for notifications. So we are talking about MMA, but specifically, we will discuss today some incredible moves of a fighter. He is Israel Adesanya. Israel shocked the viewers with his exceptional fighting skills. Are you not excited to know about that? Some of you might be wondering, who is Israel Adesanya? We will give you a quick picture of this brilliant fighter. Israel Mobolaji, Odunayo, Oluwafemi, Temitayo, Owolabi Adesanya is a Nigerian-New Zealander professional mixed martial artist. Quite a long name, isn't it? He's also good at kickboxing and former boxing with multiple championships in all disciplines. Do you know something? The Grammy Award winner, the rapper Drake, has recently placed a 2 million bet on Adesanya to win the bout. That much fandom this 33-year-old boxer has. But most importantly, the fans' trust in him is immense. Did Drake win the bet? Soon we will get to know that, so stay tuned. Starting on number 5, Israel Adesanya vs Derek Brunson. Adesanya won a tough test against a proven expert, Derek Brunson, with the flying colors at UFC 230. Israel Adesanya proved why he is among the most hyped middleweight in the sport by scoring the most significant victory of his career so far at UFC 230. Adesanya 15-0 MMA, 4-0 UFC added to his undefeated record when he scored the first TKO victory over Derek Brunson, 18-7 MMA, 9-5 UFC in their pay-per-view bout. The first fight took place in Madison Square Garden of New York City following prelims on FS1 and UFC Fight Pass. Tons of Twitter reactions flooded, congratulating Adesanya's victory over Brunson at UFC 230. Brunson could not cope with Adesanya's reach with his stand-up just minutes into the combat. Adesanya used knees in the clinch and punches in separation to draw a TKO victory over Brunson. Adesanya would win his third career performance of the night bonus. "There are things in that fight that I know weren't me," Brunson said. "I didn't prepare properly. It doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. The only thing is, he came up with a win, and now this is a time for a rematch, for the get back, and we'll catch it up." I got one more, and then we're back to the fight, and that's if he gets past Whittaker, you know. On number 4, Israel Adesanya vs Robert Whittaker. After Adesanya earned the interval title in a 5-round war with Kelvin Gastelum, he did quickly work of Robert Whittaker at UFC 243. In a different way, the last stylebender Israel Adesanya has been considered a strong championship-level fighter since early in his UFC career. Now the unbeatable star has his opportunity to confirm his status as the #1 middleweight. Robert Whittaker is a quick and unambiguous striker who has proved to be a tremendously capable champion. It is a pivotal fight for both men and a massive battle in Oceania, where both men reside. Whittaker lunges in punches with a couple of times early on. Neither man has been able to acquaintance much. It is noteworthy how often Whittaker is able to dive in, as he might leave himself open to a counter. Adesanya throws a hard left head kick, which Whittaker is able to block with his hand. Whittaker then hits back with a similar head kick attempt. Adesanya releases Whittaker with a looping right hand towards the end of the round. It connected fully, and it would have been the climax of the fight had it not been the end of the competition. 10-9 Adesanya. After an initial technical round on the feet, Adesanya completed the contest with perfectly timed punches that sent Whittaker collapsing down. The win joined the middleweight championship and earned him the division crown. At that time, Adesanya passed with flying colors 18 straight fights to kickstart his professional career, before his defeat by Jan Blachowicz at UFC 259. Israel Adesanya has always exhibited the element needed to be an elegant superstar fighter. Now he has reached the pinnacle, and he's at the level to become one of the superstars of the sport from here on. On number 3, Israel Adesanya vs Paulo Costa. Many felt this was Adesanya's toughest one in the octagon, and he made Paulo Costa feel like a beginner. Adesanya confused Costa with more questions than answered from the opening time of the battle. The mighty Costa needed help finding a rhythm with his striking as Adesanya executed elite movement and timely mixes. After landing a left hook that dropped Costa, Adesanya put an end to the round with vicious strikes. The last style bender and Paulo Costa defended against each other at the main event of UFC 253. This is back in 2020. The Nigerian-born New Zealander retained his middleweight title by defeating Costa via second-round TKO. Paulo Costa and Israel Adesanya share one of the most intense rivalries in the UFC. Neither fighter can keep the other person's name out of their mouth. The Nigerian-New Zealander recently exhibited that with a series of posts on his Instagram. He posted a handful of pictures from his fight against Paulo Costa in September 2020. The war saw Israel Adesanya pick up a KO TKO win in the second round. The two fighters honestly marketed the fight as one of the biggest bad blood fights in the UFC of all time. Coming in with unbeaten record, both fighters had a lot on the line. While Costa was touted as Adesanya's undoing, the performance he put in was rather substandard. The fact that he went on to make some questionable excuses for his loss only made things worse. However, he has an opportunity to redeem himself. On a collision course with Marvin Vettori, Paulo Costa can enter UFC middleweight relevance again. On number 2, Israel Adesanya vs Anderson Silva. Israel Adesanya astonished Anderson Silva by a wide margin during their UFC 234 face-to-face. The Spider landed only 34 total hits against the last style bender, 31 out of them being good ones. Adesanya landed more than double Silva's entire strikes. That is, about 65 strikes during the 3-lap fights. All of the UFC middleweight champions' blows were considered significant by UFC statistics. Many of Adesanya's blows were aimed at Silva's legs, landing 29 kicks during the fight. Israel Adesanya won the technical bout through a unanimous decision since all the judges sided with the last style bender. At UFC 234, the UFC champion used his orbit well and was dominating in the last round, with the Spider landing just 5 strikes in 5 minutes. Many UFC fans and advisors saw this fight as a passing of the flash moment, with Adesanya sharing similar stylistic characteristics to Anderson Silva. The only person that can get in Adesanya's way is Israel Adesanya. In just 4 years, Adesanya is already second all-time in title fight win among middleweight with 6, which puts him 5 behind Silva. On number 1, Israel Adesanya vs Kelvin Gastelum. Israel Adesanya locked horns with Kelvin Gastelum in April 2019 at UFC 236. The last style bender recorded a unanimous decision victory over Gastelum as the judges scored the fight 48-46, 48-46 and 48-46 in his favor. The fight had occurred at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. The card was headlined by an interim lightweight title fight between Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway. Adesanya and Gastelum encountered inside the octagon with the meantime middleweight title. The 33-year-old player walked away with the title and the battle against then middleweight champion Robert Whittaker. Gastelum forced Adesanya to kick things off, but the New Zealander scored first with a tough kick to the middle section. The critical moment in the first round was when the opponent banged Adesanya into the cage with a strike to his head. In the second round of their fight, Adesanya boosted his yield, having acquainted themselves with their rivals. The first 3 rounds were an excellent showcasing of tactical striking and moves. Eventually, their clash turned into a fistfight in the championship rounds. The 4th frame saw Adesanya get rocked with a head kick, followed by a line takedown attempts from Gastelum. The final round saw Adesanya displaying his battling pedigree, clasping Gastelum in a deep guillotine and a head and arm triangle choke. Although Gastelum managed to get out of the submission tries, he was dropped by the Kiwi 2 times in the final minute. The title hit at UFC 236 had everything MMA fans could ever ask for in a fight. The adrenaline rush is real. The fight truly impressed, from shifts in momentum to a very high intensity of strikes, leaving fans at the State Farm Arena cheering for more. What do you think? Which one of the fights shocked you the most? Now talking about Derek's 2 million bet. Unfortunately, he lost the bet. Share your answers in the comment section below. Did you enjoy this video? Then give the video a thumbs up. We will meet soon in the following video with another exciting video. See you soon and take care. Bye bye.